Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, see, Helen, they cannot stop clapping for you. They're gone. Good morning, and welcome to Make Your Day Richer. It is part 2, where we're talking about one of the best podcasts out there, and it is called the Autoimmune Campfire. And we have the co-creator and the co-host, Helen Samson Mullen, right here on this TV. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm bringing a little jazz hands to start us off.
No, jazz hands listen, I'll start every episode with jazz hands. First of all, congratulations on launching this podcast last week. It takes a lot of work to get to that point. So congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. It is such an honor and a privilege to work with Nona on this project. It is so fun as well, because she is awesome and fun. And so are you as our editor and producer.
Yes, Helen has named me producer. And so that's the title that I carry from now on for this podcast.
Absolutely.
What are you hearing from people? Because you're on the podcast is, of course, wherever you get podcasts, but you also kind of have a home on Substack. And I know that is a growing place for you right now. Have you been hearing from anybody, any of the listeners?
You know, I should have probably checked that before I jumped on today. I have not seen any comments yet, but that's not to say that there aren't comments there. So I had a little bit of I was away at the weekend, and then I had a busy day yesterday, but I will for sure jump on. It was exciting to launch it. You know, it's been something that we've been talking about, and you've been working with us on, and to get it out there in the world is great. One of the things I would say is Nona and I are sort of checking in, and we've heard from our various families who are really enjoying it, which it feels really good because it is tender to put your sweet baby passion project out there in the world.
Yeah, when you work so hard on something and you're hoping, of course, guess who's here? Nona's here. Hi, Nona. Listening, of course. Thank you. When you work so hard on something, no matter what it is, if it's a book or a podcast or, even just your whatever job you have, and you put it out there and you hope people hear about it and you hope people love it. And yes. I think what's important about what they're doing is it's not just like a medical podcast where they're talking about medical conditions. You both have autoimmune. Is it diseases, conditions? I want to make sure I'm calling it the right thing.
So you know what? I think you're right either way. I like to call it a condition because I feel like disease has some baggage. And I think that does something in our brains, whereas a condition is something somehow feels a little lighter to me in my brain.
A little more ingestible, maybe. Yeah, right. And you were diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in 2018.
Yes, correct.
Moderate to severe, which I've only think that was a made-up thing on all of the commercials. Every commercial for no matter what, you can have moderate to severe, whatever it is. What does that mean?
So, when they do it, when they run all the tests, you sort of, all the parameters get into a certain window, and then they call it moderate to severe. And that means, it may mean a different type of medicine. So when I was first diagnosed and they didn't have the test, they were going to put me on one medicine routine. And then once the test came back, they're like, oh no, we're going to put you on this one. And, I think I was really, in some ways, I was really lucky because I was seropositive rheumatoid arthritis. I have read that other people have gone through years of pain and discomfort trying to get a diagnosis because they're seronegative. So when I have conversations with my rheumatologist, who is just fabulous, she'll say, I'll say, well, any chance that I might go into permanent remission on this? And she's like, well, let's not rule that out. But, seropositive, so I think there is a sort of, that moderate to severe, it really came on like a truck for me, and it really did kind of derail things for a while.
We started at the severe part, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because I always think that, I'm like, well, if I had a choice, moderate to severe, that seems pretty like a big gap, and I would rather have moderate than severe.
Yeah.
But so I never really understood that. Can you talk a little bit about what autoimmune conditions are? Because I know there are a lot of them,
Yeah.
and it feels like a pretty big umbrella that they're all under.
Yeah, it's a really interesting umbrella, because there are over 100 autoimmune conditions. So that's the first piece of like, wow. And there are autoimmunity is really, I don't really think it's fully understood in research at this point. But basically, it's where your body starts to, our immune system is this amazing thing that fights all viruses, bacteria, fungi, everything, right? And at some point in autoimmunity, it starts to turn its attention to healthy tissue. And so there are all sorts of theories out there about whether it's, whether it could be, if you have a genetic predisposition, if you, if a virus or a bacterium or something kind of is the prompt, or something, stress, whatever, and then it starts its turn. But there's like non-organ autoimmunity and then organ immunity. So like some things, like if you think about diabetes, is organ specific because it's about the pancreas, whereas I have non-organ, which is because mine is rheumatoid arthritis, so it's inflammatory joint disease. And then for Nona with her MS, it's nervous system, so that's non-organ. So there are just all sorts of different ways to look at it, but I think it's not really fully understood at this point. Because what I think is really interesting is, we talk about this through the podcast, that of the people who have a diagnosis of autoimmunity, 70%, even last night I was reading some more articles that is up to 80% of these people are women. So you've got to wonder, I wonder what's at play there that we don't know yet.
Yeah. Is there a lot of research being done? So this is why also this podcast is so good, because the chemistry between Nona and Helen they're best friends, but so opposite on so many things that it's so good to watch them go back and forth with each other. You're kind of the researcher of the team. Is there a lot of research being done on this?
Oh yes, I mean, so my background is as I started out at university as a physiologist. Then I did a PhD in inflammatory bowel disease, by the way, which is an autoimmune condition. And so I actually officially have a thesis in feces. So, but that's a whole other story.
That's a different show. She'll come back.
That's a different show. And then I worked in medical research, then clinical research. So as a clinical researcher, I was working in clinical trials for various meds. And yeah, there are always clinical trials ongoing, because the drugs that are out there, they work till they don't work. You tolerate them till you don't tolerate them. And so there's always that need for the next thing coming.
What would you say are people going to get out of listening to this podcast or watching it?
I hope they feel a sense of connection and belonging, and maybe even some fun and some laughs along the way. I mean, our goal really is to be in service of helping or supporting, not helping, supporting people with autoimmune conditions or other chronic conditions to thrive. Because when you have this diagnosis, and certainly when the condition can take you down for a little bit, or like for me, I have ups and downs. I have flares, and then, I can be stabilized, and it's a whole thing. It can be, it's like a roller coaster that you didn't want to ride. And so it can also feel lonely at times, because you have to miss things that you otherwise would do because of functional issues. So I would say I want people to feel a sense of belonging. I want them to feel that, yes, even if you have this diagnosis, this condition, you can still thrive. it might just be a little adjustment. And so when Nona and I talked, when she was first diagnosed, and she said, I wish that the conversations that we're having are really important. And I was learning from Nona, and we were just having this great back and forth. And she said, we should record this. There's got to be other people out there. And I just remember at the beginning of my diagnosis, and really I had a really steep decline, was I felt so lonely, right? I was like, what do you do here? And so she asked me, she said, well, what do you wish somebody could have whispered in your ear in those first few days or first few weeks? And that's what we created in season 1. What do we wish that somebody could have said, hey, here's like a little fast track to some thriving through this, this roller coaster ride that is quite tenuous.
Yeah. And it really does feel like, as the person who's there when you're recording it and listening, it really does feel like you are sitting around the campfire with some friends.
Yes.
Just chatting about something you all have in common, even if it's different. Like it just feels so kind of warm and comforting, because you feel like, oh, they also are going through that, or oh my gosh, I can't believe they did go through that. Like, and they are still here laughing and having fun, which, doesn't happen every day, I'm sure. No. The first 3 episodes are out. There's a new episode again this week that we have a clip of. And in one of the first 3 episodes is kind of your story and how you got to where you are today. Because at one point you weren't even able to walk, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Can you talk about, like, and it's in the episode, so go and watch the entire thing, but kind of what your, like, that first thing that maybe triggered you, like, I should get checked for something?
Oh, yes. That was, I literally, I had just got back from England. I'd done a stint taking care of my father, and I injured my knee, and chasing him across a train station when he got startled, the things you do. And he has Alzheimer's, by the way. I'm not a weird chaser of parents. And I, maybe, well, no. And I,
another episode again.
Yeah. My niece, I hit my knee, and I fell and I hit my knee, and it swelled, and I thought it's probably all right. And then I went and I got back home, and I was working in DC, and I got on the train to come back to Wilmington. And when I stood up to get off the train, my knee was just like a melon. I hadn't even noticed. I'd just been sitting working on my computer, and I had to kind of hop off the train, and I was like, something, and then it was like a whole thing of, they drained the knee, they put some Cerid in, they, ran some tests, and they were all negative. So they were like, I think you need to go to a rheumatologist and get checked out. And that's where I got, had all the blood tests that gave me the diagnosis.
Wow. Is it something that, like, is it day by day, hour by hour that it could be different, or can you go kind of long stints of time feeling okay?
It really depends. There was a time when it was really day by day, hour by hour. I would get up in the morning, and I'd take everything that I needed from upstairs downstairs, because I didn't know if I'd make it back up the stairs. That was in the beginning of this journey. Now I'm on, knock on wood, a really amazing treatment, a biologic, and I would say I'm as close to remission. I mean, my rheumatologist who's phenomenal, said, well, I didn't know if we'd get you here, right? Because it was so severe at the time that I started seeing her. And I think it's not just the meds, but it's all the other, she sort of acknowledges it's all the other things that I do that help. And, so I think now I can, like, we're planning to go away for the weekend. I would have made that plan and been like, I don't know if we can go, or I might have to stay home. Right. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, I'm going. So it definitely is, with the right treatment and had, in a sort of somewhat medical remission, I have got a good portion of my life back, like a good portion, like 80%, I would say right now.
That's amazing. We have a clip from this week's episode that comes out. It's on Wednesdays, correct? That new
Yes,
episodes come
Wednesday.
out? All right. Take a look at this clip.
The other piece of boundaries, and this may also be linked here, is fear. When fear is driving the bus, I'm so busy trying to control all the pieces, but the higher part of me is not there. So it's just fear. And so then there's like a different energy, and I'm like running at things and trying to over control everything versus, sort of really lean into what's the whole picture here.
Yeah.
And so I think that sometimes I can tell actually now when I've gone into a sort of fearful response, I'm sort of making all the calls before I've actually thought, what's the important, do I need to call my rheumatologist or my internist? Does it require a call? Does it, like, that settling in to decide what is needed? So then it's like when fear takes over, hope gets extinguished. So that's somewhat challenging.
Oh, such a good podcast. I can't even tell you. It's called the Autoimmune Campfire, and you should go listen or watch it. And right there is the Substack address for it. Outside of being a podcast host, which I'm sure you always thought you would be, you are also helping people in other ways. Can you talk about the work you do outside of this?
Yes. So I'm really proud and honored to be one of the senior executive coaches at P-Link Leadership, which is a leadership development or an organization that helps people with leadership development using the science of positive psychology, helping people in the organizations thrive. So I love that. So fully aligned with who I am. And then the other thing that I'm doing right now is because I feel like well-being and wellness, starting as a physiologist, which is the study of the body, it's like a full circle moment, which is how can I use my experience, not just from my background, but also from my learning today to help people. So I do what I call well-being strategy and coaching around that. And you can find me there on helensamsonmullen.com.
There you go. Right there is the website. What do you love most about your life right now, Helen?
Well, I feel so grateful because there's so much. I feel grateful that, I think I feel most grateful for my family. I have a husband and 2 children who I just adore. And a mini golden doodle who's thankfully asleep under this desk, but she is as adorable as she is naughty. For my friends, for my family, I have so many supportive, loving people in my life. I also love that I'm able to get back into my creativity and things. I love gardening. I love going to the beach. Talk about what do you love in life? My feet in the ocean, whether it's the Atlantic, the Pacific, or the North Sea where I grew up. It's like, yes. So I'm really loving that I have the energy to be back in and doing things. And honestly, I can't tell you how energizing this podcast has been, and working with Nona and co-collaborating with her, because she is a joy. She is a delight. She uses that word, right? A delight. She is a delight. I hope you hear this, Nona. And it has brought out so much more energy and hope in, being able to share what we've learned. That it may, if it helps one other person, then it's worth it.
Listen, it has helped me just understand it better. So you've got a check. I can't thank you enough for coming on this show and for bringing me along the journey of the Autoimmune Campfire, because I'm honored to be able to do it with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You make it so much easier for us. And thank you for your inspiration and your creative ability to make us sound good.
It's a great podcast. The Autoimmune Campfire on Substack, Helen's website right there. What else could you need in your life, Helen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We will be anytime. Come back next week. We'll be right back after this.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
Are you an independent creative looking to take your career to the next level? Whether you're an author, illustrator, or thinking about getting into this industry, it's time to step into the spotlight at the Inkpreneurs Summit 2024. This November 1st and 2nd in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, we're bringing together the best minds in the publishing industry for 2 days of unparalleled learning and intimate networking. From hands-on workshops with industry experts to interactive networking mixers, you'll get the tools, connections, and insights to turn your creativity into a thriving business. And that's not all. Our Fresh Ink Pavilion is the place for new and emerging authors to showcase and sell their books, right in front of passionate readers and industry pros who are ready to support your journey. Plus, meet our incredible lineup of speakers sharing your secrets to success in publishing and beyond. Don't miss out. Secure your spot today and get ready to elevate your creative career. Visit inkpreneursummit.com to register. Let's give your creativity the success it deserves. See you in Winston-Salem.
I am one of those people that will be at the Inkpreneur Summit speaking. So I hope to see you there November 1st and 2nd. And I don't know if you saw at the beginning of this show, but we just hit 50,000 views and downloads of this show. So thank you everyone who watches, shares, likes, and listens to this show. I love that I get to do this every single day and talk to people like Helen. On tomorrow's show, we have another amazing guest. Debbie Crouch is here talking about art in your hands and her new book that we have been talking a lot about, Beyond the Ordinary. So you can tune in tomorrow for that. It's going to be a really, really good show. What else? I don't think I have anything else to tell you. So we're just going to go. Go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. And you've made my day richer for watching this show. I want to thank our newest sponsor, EcoGlow Cleaning. And we will see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.